Continuing the parsha of Bhaalotcha, there are several incidents describing the mitzvah of kindling the menorah. And we have the anniversary of the Passover offering in the desert. And there was a group of people who could not bring the Passover offering because they were carrying the remains of Joseph. And a person who is in contact with a dead body cannot bring the Passover offering. They're in a state of tumah. So they approached Moses, they approached Aaron, said, why should we be left out? Loma nigora. Why should we be left out of this? And here we have introduced the mitzvah of Pesach Sheni, second Passover. That if someone cannot bring the Passover offering in the regular time because they were in a state of spiritual impurity, were bad, they could not get to Jerusalem on time, there's a second opportunity 30 days later. So here we learn the mitzvah of Pesach Sheni, which is the lesson of it's never too late. It seemed that this mitzvah was introduced after the group came to Moses and said, why should we be left out? Why can't we bring a Passover offering? And then Moses says, let me find out. And God gave the mitzvah of the second Passover 30 days later. Why couldn't that be part of the mitzvah of Passover? It's almost like, you have a good point. I left that out. That's something good to include. Let's add this mitzvah. Why couldn't God include this initial? This goes to the heart, really, of the lesson of Pesach Sheni, the lesson of the holiday of second chances, the holiday of a missed opportunity. Only in Judaism do you have that. A holiday for everything, a holiday for even missed opportunity. The reason why it was not included originally is because that would defeat the purpose. The idea of having a second opportunity, a second chance, could not be something initiated by God. You're in school, you're studying for an exam, you're studying for a test, and the teacher says, well, by the way, if you miss the test, you can also come on this day. Or if you fail, don't worry, we'll give you another chance. We'll give you an opportunity, defeats the entire purpose. That itself leads to never achieving. There's no responsibility. There's no accountability. Well, okay, so if I don't come then, I'll come a different time. There'll always be another chance. Pesach Sheni came on the behest and the initiation of a group of people who said, why should we be left out? Literally, the words are Loma nigora. Why should it be bad for us? Why should we lose out? Literally. Why should we be losing? I don't want to be a part of this. Driving inside of you that I don't want to miss out. There's something inside of me driving me that I want to do it. I want to achieve it. I want to be a part of it. The initiation came from within you. We'll give you a chance. We'll give you an opportunity. We'll give you a second opportunity. So the catch in second chances, second opportunities, certainly was anticipating this. But it cannot be initiated. This gets to the core of reconciliation, relationships, many other areas. Sometimes it cannot come from on top. Part of it is we have to create the circumstances, but the initiation must come. It must come from the person. Similar to the lesson of the candles, where Aaron has to light the candle until the flame rises on its own. The same theme. It doesn't just say light the candle. Light the candle until it's steady and move on. Light the candle, ignite that wick, until the flame is able to rise on its own and then move on. The rising on its own is essential. The person has to grow from within. It's the same over here with Pesach Sheni. It can't just be where God says, okay, well, if the 14th of Nisan doesn't work out, check off on your calendar, just pencil in, there's a second opportunity moment on the 14th of Iyar. The opportunity of growth and reconciliation, taking advantage of initiating a second opportunity, that has to come from within. No one else can create that, because then it's not full. The idea of a second opportunity of making amends has to come from within. And going back to the kindling of the menorah, this is like the story we mentioned about the person who asked the Rebbe, what is a Rebbe? The Rebbe said, the role of a Rebbe is to make sure every person's candle is lit. So he asked the Rebbe, so the Rebbe, did you light my candle? I've given you the match. Only you can light your candle. The initiation has to come from within. Only we can light our own candle. We have to discover the matches that are given to us. But it has to come from within. Find a similar teaching in ethics of our fathers that we're learning during this period of time. Many have the custom of learning ethics of our fathers between Passover and Shavuot. That's universal. Every Jewish community does that between Passover and Shavuot. But some have the custom of continuing onwards after Shavuot, continuing until Rosh Hashanah. And so one of the Mishnahs and teachings of ethics of our fathers is a statement from Hillel, who says, Im ein ani li, mili. If I'm not for myself, who will be for me? If I'm only for myself, then what am I? And if not now, when? The idea of this Mishnah is, it's emphasizing responsibility. Even though the first phrase emphasizes responsibility of self, doing something on your own. Don't be dependent on others. The initiation has to come from within. I have to be for myself. Don't rely, my teachers were terrible because no one cared about my education. No one educated me. Teachers were all focused on themselves. I had a bad upbringing. We can blame the world. And we see people who grow up and their whole lives, unfortunately, are about blaming the world. And Hillel is telling us, pick yourself up. If you're not going to be for yourself, who is going to be for you? At what point are you going to stand on your own? At what point are you going to take initiative? At what point will your own flame rise up on its own? You have your own flame. When will it rise? However, that could lead also to others, because that would defeat the purpose. Why should I help someone else? Let them get up on their own 2 feet. Everyone for themselves. Hillel's second statement is, if you are only for yourself, then what are you? You have to pass along that match. You have to do something to create the aura of, something is missing. I'm missing out. So let's get back to the Pesach Sheni, where this group turned to Moses and said, why are we left out? Created that aura, or created that initiative of, in today's language, the FOMO, the fear of missing out. There must have been a lot of excitement. If everyone is going to be celebrating the Passover, the second Passover, and everyone is complaining, we gotta have to do this again. Oh no, we gotta clean everything up. We gotta do the Passover thing. Oh no, this is terrible. Now this group that could not bring a Passover offering, what do you think they would say? They would say, we're off the hook. We don't have to bring a Passover. We're off the hook this year. There was such excitement around them that they felt we are truly missing out. We're missing out. So, one way of being able to inspire initiative within the other person is creating the aura that there's something you're missing out without saying it to you, without pointing a finger, you're a bunch of losers, you can't bring the Passover offering. No, that would not be good. That would be distancing them. And that's not good. Imagine if we create the atmosphere and the environment of, look how good we have it. And look how good this mitzvah is. Look how precious it is. This creates the aura. This creates the environment of, as I mentioned, the person who came to the Rebbe, who said, my children, how do I inspire them to continue living a Jewish life? It's so difficult to be a Jew. It's schwer zu sein a Yid. The Rebbe asked, do your children ever hear you say that? He said, yes, they do. Maybe they should hear you say, it's so good to be a Jew. It's so amazing. This holiday is so special. It's so exciting. Isn't it amazing? There was an educator who shared that, kids like junk food. Kids want to know when, what are we having for dessert? Can we start the meal with the dessert? He says, if you just say no all the time, then your children are going to find a way to get it. You can't just say no all the time. He says, what do I do? I asked them, what is your favorite dessert? What is your favorite cereal? We're going to have it on Shabbos. Shabbos is when we're going to have it. So number one, I've taken care of the issue of never saying no. There's a way that you can have something that you enjoy, something which is sweet, and something which is not the healthiest, but it's okay. You can have it. As long as it's kosher, it's okay. Secondly, I found a way for them to look forward to Shabbos, to Shabbat. They're excited about it on their level, as kids, on a kid's level. There's something that they're excited about. The idea over here is creating the initiative. When children are brought up in an environment where there's excitement about something, then you feel you're missing out if you don't have it, because there's excitement. If it's about, this is what you have to do, then if you don't get to do it, good thing I'm off the hook. So obviously around the second Passover, the anniversary and observing the Passover, there must have been an aura, there must have been an excitement in the air, something that everyone is anticipating. And this group came to Moses and said, why are we missing out? Why should we lose out on this? So that is the tension. And that is the tightrope of, on the one hand, you can't create it for them. You can't give it to them on a silver platter and say, here it is. Here's your second chance. It has to come from them. On the other hand, the whole environment must be of excitement, that the others feel that they're missing out, and they want to be a part of it. They want to achieve. But the key is their flame has to rise on its own. Don't make sure that put that candle in a place where there's windy and it doesn't stand a chance. But give it the right environment where that flame can truly rise on its own. So let's pass along the match.